Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friend! Welcome. The Prayer for Peace moment on Kardec Radio. My name is Daniel Peon, and I'm again so happy to be here one more Tuesday with you at 6 p.m. So, my friend, as always, I researched a bit and I found an amazing text from Emmanuel. Emmanuel is so awesome. From Emmanuel, through the medium Chico Xavier, and the book is The Way, the Truth, and the Life. And the chapter is chapter 3. So the idea here is that we could go together, and I will be reading this passage. So in this way, we start getting our vibrations and our thoughts together, and then by the end, do some comments, and we get together in a prayer. And that's it. So that's the idea for today. So shall we start? So I will now start reading this chapter, and as we do, let's do together so we can see if we can get the same conclusions and same understanding. So the chapter is called Examine Yourself, and it is from and Emmanuel starts by citing Paul, and it is in Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. Paul says, "Let nothing be done in strife or vainglory, but in humility." And then, based on this, Emmanuel says, Jesus' work is endless. Within the orbit of this work, there is a place for every person and every salutary idea. If in the divine order each tree produces according to its own kind, in the Christian endeavor each disciple contributes according to his or her level of evolution. A human lifetime is not a season of pleasure. A person is here for the purpose of learning. And in this endeavor, he or she should take advantage of the opportunity to learn and enable others to do the same. The Apostle Paul understood this truth, stating that we should not do anything in the spirit of strife or vainglory, but in humility. When you do something that goes beyond the scope of your daily duties, examine your reasons for doing so. If it is the result of an unjust desire for control, or if it is only due to unnecessary argument, then watch your heart so that your path may be less troublesome. But if you were just doing what you were supposed to do, then even if you were seen as being strict and demanding, inflexible or unfaithful, then accept the unjustified observation and carry on. Just keep doing your job, remembering that as he served others with humility without strife or vainglory, Jesus himself was seen as imprudent and rebellious, a traitor to the law, and an enemy of the people, but that he received his glorious crown on the cross. That's it, my friends. So let me tell you what I really love in this text. First, because of the title, right? It is something that I mentioned last week when I was talking about evaluating by the end of the day, as Benjamin Franklin was doing, how our actions and thoughts were perceived, and also if our virtues were aligned And again, Emmanuel's being so coherent because here's another book, another chapter, and he's talking that we should mentioning that we should examine ourselves. So starting by that. And second, and I think for me it's one of the hidden gems that I can find is that he kind of answered the questions about what's the meaning of life. And what I say by that, because at least he gives a tip because he says that we are here. Let me find this. Yeah. Let me just find this. Yeah. So in the third paragraph, he says, a human lifetime is not a season of pleasure. A person is here for the purpose of learning. Uh, and continues in this endeavor. And in this endeavor, he or she should take the advantage of the opportunity to learn and enable others to do the same. Meaning to learn and to share uh, and to support the learning of others. And it makes so much sense with the Spirit's book, which is the sense of evolution that we are here to evolve, right? And that's how we evolve by learning. And that's where Jesus is our divine master because he is our guide, is our teacher, and the best one because he came and with by example, he was telling us what to do and teaching us how we should proceed. And therefore, we should follow his steps. And then Emmanuel ends by remembering us that if you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you should examine yourself to see if you're doing this coherently of what Jesus would do. And then if so, just carry on. Don't worry about what others think and what and if they give you unjustified comments or tell you that you're being unfaithful, strict, demanding, accept this observation and carry on, right? So Jesus was the best example. He was seen as a traitor, a rebellious person, but he was not, and he knew that he was not, and he was just serving us with humility. And the words of Paul here are so enlightening because he says, okay, let nothing be done in strife or vainglory, but in humility, meaning as we want peace in this world, we should not have strife in ourselves, right? And also, if we want peace in this world, we know that selfishness starts the most of conflict, so we should not have vainglory in ourselves. Otherwise, how can we wish this for the world if we don't have this in ourselves, right? My friends, that's what I got. I think, again, it's a beautiful, beautiful text. There's so much that each of you can get from it. And if you want, please share in the comments. And yes, as always, let's try to practice. Let's try to examine ourselves and keep improving. Dear friends, now I invite you to I'll just turn up the volume of this music a bit. And I invite you to, if you may, close your eyes so we can pray together for peace. Shall we? Dear Jesus, thank you so much for this wonderful day, for being here together with friends and colleagues, with a fraternity aiming at giving peace, producing peace, sharing peace, and wishing peace for all our brothers and sisters. Dear Lord, thank you so much for enlightening us today through Emmanuel, through Chico Xavier, and so many other enlightened spirits that brought this message to us. As Paul says, we should examine ourselves. We should not do anything in strife and vainglory. So help us, if you may, dear Jesus. In times of hurdles, in times that are very important in our lives, where we should take decisions, please allow us to humble ourselves, keep calm, listen to our guardian angels, listen to our spirits, friends, who wants the best for us, so we can have peace and bring peace. And with this peacefulness, we can take the best decisions. We also desire that the decision makers of this world, who are in positions of power, who can decide between conflict and wars, these brothers and sisters of ours, we hope they can connect with you, that they can believe that there is always a second chance for peace. There's always another way. And that we and them can follow your example, Jesus. So that your incarnation in this planet is never forgotten. So all these leaders can remind about you and remember that you are the Prince of Peace. And then they should be responsible for the continuity of the peace. But Lord, not only them, but all of us are part in this planet and are responsible for the world peace. And the sums of our thoughts and vibrations should reflect our inner world. Therefore, Jesus, again, please allow us to keep this peace, to examine ourselves every day so we can improve, we can evolve, learn, and share. Thank you so much, Jesus, for always being with us and for your unconditional love. And with much gratitude in our hearts, we kindly ask you, dear Lord, for your permission to close this prayerful moment of today. And so be it. Yeah, that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you can still connect with us every day at 6 p.m. here on Kardec Radio. And I hope as well that I can be joining you next week, God willing. And so I bid you a big kiss. Hope you have a nice end of your day and see you next time. Bye-bye.